Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Oh, my mic is further away than I would like it to be. Hopefully I can slide it without breaking the volume. All right, there we are. Did some mic adjustments there so that it was actually working. So hello, Liam. Hello, is it Linu Poles? Linu Poles. Hello. Greetings. So we are. I found this article. I've been trying to do one more live stream during the day. I have a lot of folks across the pond who love to watch the show, and by the time I usually do them, it's very late. So I'm trying to schedule in one more live stream during the day. Was a night owl, I'd never catch these streams. Always around 3. Yeah, well, Sandman, this is for you guys across the pond who like to watch the streams, but I realize it's very late by the time I usually get a chance. And so I have a small prediction that this phone is going to ring sometime today because that client is still out there. And I actually disabled notifications for the phone on Skype, and unfortunately, it means I'm missing some other stuff too. Yes, haircut. I stuck my head in a lawnmower today. It was exhilarating. It's just like, if you want a thrill, just head lawnmower. It's awesome. All right. So we are going to look at a few different articles today, pretty much all stemming from one topic, and that is Google following your offline credit card spending. And this is an interesting concept because as we talk more and more about all of the online tracking and all of this stuff, I mean, am I just all that crazy that I'm just like, I'm a little out there. I mean, why should I be all concerned if Facebook or Google or the grocery store down the street wants to track what I'm doing? Well, there's very good reasons for that. The first is, it's none of their business. If they come up with a program to say, hey, if you allow us to track you, we will gladly give you, deals, whatever else, then it's kind of my choice, right? Like, okay, great. I get that. My choice, fine. I'll decide if I want to opt in, and that's great. The problem is there's so much of this tracking that we can't do much about unless we take some sometimes extreme steps. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Hello, Steven. All right. So the article that I wanted to talk about today was the article from Consumerist. I saw this yesterday. And this article here from the Consumerist, I don't know why I'm going to make an adjustment here. I think what had happened is at one point in time, I had adjusted this screen to take the title image off for some reason. I can't remember why. But it just looks so much better if I have the title down there for folks that are wondering what in the world you're talking about today. So this article came from Consumerist yesterday, I believe. Was it yesterday? Okay, so it's updated this morning. It was published yesterday. Basically, this is an article summarizing some things that came out of a Google event that had occurred. I want to say the Google event occurred. It was either a Google event that occurred yesterday or a Google event that occurred today. And thank you. Great background. Thank you. Yeah, it's my spinning Earth background. I like this one. It kind of has limited applications. And actually, maybe if I let me move my image around and see if we can see more of it. What's better? Let's try this. Let's try this here. There you go. Let me know if that's better or worse. And also let me know, I've never tried this background on a live stream, so let me know if it's messing up the audio. Some of my backgrounds mess up the audio, and I think I have most of them figured out, but I'm not sure. Hello, I Think Tech. Greetings. Okay, so this article here, Google apparently has access to 70% of all the credit card transactions. Of course, they make a real big deal that this is anonymized data. a study actually found that it only took 3 or 4 points of data to de-anonymize randomized anonymized credit card data. And so what we're going to look at here today is something I don't usually do, but we are going to walk through this pretty much the whole article here. And I'm going to comment on things. Usually I just show the article and comment on the article. But this one here, this is a specialty talk. Maybe this will be my Wednesday live stream specialty focus or something. I don't know. Hello, Dylan. Audio's fine? Awesome. Very good to know. All right. So what we are looking into here is the article basically, so let's see. So this was yesterday. Google has its annual conference for marketers. And so they bring all these marketers in. And the idea here, of course, with marketing, the objective of marketing goes well if your sales increase, okay? And I'm not opposed to all marketing. The marketing I'm opposed to is marketing I cannot opt out of. Or actually, marketing that I have to opt out of. Like, I have a general philosophy in the 21st century that if a company cold calls me, I generally will not do much business with them, if any at all. If you show a banner ad that is relevant to the content that I'm looking at and it interests me, I will very well click on that. And I have paid thousands of dollars before for things that I have clicked on banner ads happily. Okay? I'm not opposed to banner ads. I'm not opposed to advertising. But in the 21st century, you make a good website, you optimize it for SEO, and you let me know what your services are. And when I am in need for your service and I get onto an internet search page and I look it up, I can find you. You will cause a sale. But if you are detail tracking everything I'm doing and everywhere I'm going and everything I'm spending, so you can build up a profile of me and then target me so narrowly that you ping me and ping me and ping me by 1,000 deaths until I break and buy your product, now we have a problem. That's what I'm arguing against. And this right here is the biggest article I've ever seen to stop and say, guys, you should be using cash. Not to mention that, not to mention the thing that with cash, we tend to spend less money. Dave Ramsey talks about this a lot, where, it was like back about 20 years ago. Wow, man, I'm getting old. I was thinking that with the barbershop, they're cutting off all the hair today, and I'm looking down there, there's a lot of little gray hairs starting to show up down there. Okay. So basically what had happened here is back when I worked at a fast food restaurant 20 years ago, we only took cash. I only had one guy ever show up and even ask if he could pay with a credit card. It was cash only. We could take a check, but usually it was cash. You go in, it's cash, 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 cash. It was McDonald's was the first company to look at we know that it costs a certain percentage of our sale to use a credit card. Okay? We know that. So is it worth it? McDonald's had that question. They said, well, we're going to go ahead and offer credit card acceptance at various places and see what happens. Well, what happens is that the spending goes up somewhere around 20%. Of course, the cost is like 3% frequently. Actually, it's less than that, depending on how you're doing it and how you're setting up your credit card transactions. But what ends up happening is they are making more. And the exact example that Dave Ramsey uses is he says, if you go in with a credit card into McDonald's, you go, give me the number 3, go ahead and supersize it, give me the apple pie, and I'll pay for his. Because you never have what he calls an ouchie moment as the cash leaves your wallet. But if you go in there with cash, and you're paying cash at the McDonald's counter, you're like dollar menu and you're on your own, okay? And that's the difference, that we do not have the thing that triggers us spending money is broken when we spend money without actually using the money. So this would be an app a credit card, a debit card, some type of card, apps, biometric things, all sorts of anything where cash does not trade hands, you spend without realizing it. Okay, and in that respect, we have to keep in mind that as McDonald's found that this was so beneficial to them, they quickly spread that across everything, and now more credit card transactions occur in fast food restaurants. You go in with cash, you're like, what is this green paper? Okay, but we have to remember that by using cash, you generally spend less money per transaction, and that's kind of good, okay? But with more people using apps to pay and using cards to pay, it's a lot easier to track what you're doing. And we're not talking about not tracking what you're doing because you're doing bad stuff. No. I just don't want to be so targeted. So much so that I think was it yesterday? I think I went to Ollie's. No, it was 2 days ago. I forget. It was 2 days ago. Now, my vacuum cleaner died, and so I'm pricing out and I'm budgeting for a vacuum cleaner. Want to see where I can get the best price for the best vacuum in town. So I passed by this Ollie's. I'm in Ollie's. I'm like, there's a couple bucks in my wallet. I'm going to impulse buy and buy a little junk food snack. So I pick out my junk food snack. Which I do every once in a while. It's sad to say. But I buy my junk food snack. I take it up to the register, and he's like, can I have your zip code? Then I said, 12345. He looks at me. I said, well, that means no, you can't have my zip code. So she puts in the store zip code, of course. He's like, we're just doing it so that we can track where you're from so that, we can determine if it's a good place to build an Ollie's. It's like, trust me, where I live, A, there's an Ollie's close enough, hence I'm here. But B, no, you're not going to build an Ollie's that's not too far away from where I'm at. Okay, yeah, and it's silly. It's silly. Of course, if you're paying with a credit card, they can verify the information, the zip code you give them versus the zip code that's on the billing statement. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. But I go in for my little snack, and it's just like, on my little snack there, and they're just like, what's your zip code? I'm like, no, I'm not giving that. He's like, well, what do you think they're going to track from the zip code? I said, you'd be surprised, Mr. Ollie's clerk. And so credit cards are dangerous things. We spend too much with them. We spend without being conscious, and it's allowing big data to do a whole lot more data collection. So let's have a look at the comments here. There's been a lot of comments going back and forth here. All right, let's see. Audio's good. LaShark06, things is going well. Hello, George. So can you live without a credit card? Absolutely, you can live without a credit card. Depending on what you do, you may or may not be able to live without a debit card, but there is a difference between a debit card and a credit card. And that a credit card, you spend money before you pay for it, and you pay the bank back. And on a debit card, it takes the money directly out of the account that you already have. Different people will argue different things. A debit card is just as dangerous from the perspective of the tracking information and from the perspective of the extra spending. It's not as dangerous in that it will not send you into debt. It'll just kind of bounce back and give you a massive fee if you overspend on it. And so, you can go without credit cards. And what I'm a little excited about is Amazon is even starting to, they've adjusted how their gift cards work so you can reload your gift cards, basically meaning you can buy things on Amazon now with cash, because there's a good 25% of people who are called unbanked people. And what a lot of this online boom is trying to figure out is how do you keep tabs on unbanked people? Well, one way is many unbanked people have smartphones because you can get them on things like Net10 and what's the other phone? I forget what the other ones are. Basically, you can go and buy a prepaid card at a local store and figure that out. So I only pay with cash. I hate credit cards. Yes. I've only owned one credit card in my life, and that was a prepaid card. And the only problem with cash is the small exchange you get for paying these stupid prices like $1.99. These small coins are a pain to keep and carry around. Wait. Okay, I've got to figure that out. Problem with cash is the small exchange you get for paying these stupid prices like $1.99, $2.87. Well, I don't actually. No, here's what I do with coins. Okay, I go out, I get my coins, and actually all my coins go into my Dave Ramsey mug. So I have a Dave Ramsey mug full of coins. And when the mug gets full, I roll the coins and go and deposit them into my bank account. So I'm never really carrying a lot of coins laying around. Just kind of stays on my desk. And so that's what I do with all my coins. And it actually causes you to spend even a little bit less. And so I just keep them in my pocket. And when I come in, I empty them into there. I never carry around a whole lot more than that. And so that's kind of the best thing to do with the coins and such. Paper, also pain. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never really had a big problem with the paper or the coins. All the store cards. Yeah, the store cards are a different thing. Those allow extra tracking. So now if they're tracking the credit card transaction attached to the store card, they can now put together real good pieces of information about what you're spending. Hello, Lamer Linux. How are you? Lamar Linux? Lamer? I don't know. You Lamer or Lamar? I don't know. Okay. Hello, Ollie. I am doing well. Well, stop using Google and use DuckDuckGo search engine. I hate DuckDuckGo search engine. I use Start Page. It provides way better search results and is a lot easier to read. And yeah, absolutely though, we should stop using Google and Bing and Yahoo and all these major big data trackers. Got done with the yard work. Awesome. Okay, let's jump back to our article and start reading here. All right. We will not take 10 minutes for every sentence, I promise. But who knows? It might be good if we do. All right. Attribution is important to businesses because marketing costs money. Businesses are willing to spend some money on advertising and outreach, but only if they see it translate into a return. Again, goes to the purpose of the marketing. Okay, the return for decades was hard to measure in all but the most vaguely correlative ways. Did people buy your product after seeing your TV ad, after seeing your billboard? On a whim, after seeing neither? Who knows? This is where web forms came in and allowed you to put a little option. How did you hear about us? And for the people kind enough to fill that information in, that was one of the first real good ways you could hear directly from the consumer. Of course, in good business where you're developing a lot of rapport from people, you'll figure out who's helping out your business and what strategies are working, which ones are not. Other good ways are you can use specific coupon codes tied to specific marketing trends, and that would allow you to track, if somebody's using, X coupon code, they have to have gotten it from X marketing campaign. So one of the ways that you can track this without tracking a lot of other data is to track which coupon code somebody used at your online checkout store, so etc. All right. So, in the age of highly targeted algorithmic advertising, the landscape is completely different. The apps on your phone know what you looked at and when, and can tie that into what you see on other devices that you're also logged in, like your work computer. That is a fun announcement. So, in other words, if you take your smartphone and you download a lot of apps, I know a person has 1,000 games on their smartphone. A lot of it's and I asked them about it one time, they said, my kids download stuff. Oh, so you just hand this phone out to people and you just allow them to download stuff onto it willy-nilly and you never clear any of it off. That's dangerous. Okay, but all of these people will actually, if you're downloading all these apps, you have the Facebook app, you have your Google app, that's logged in. Anything else you do on the phone, they're going to be able to track all that down. And if you're also logged in on this computer and on that computer and on the other computer, it can track whatever's going on across all these different computers with a very good certainty. So that's kind of what we're moving into, is this world where the apps, the logged in services, and this is why I never keep logged into services. You'll notice that I use Chromium for YouTube only, and I use Firefox for everything else. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do to make sure that you're not being tracked excessively by these companies, is use one specific browser for one function and use another browser for everything else. Of course, privacy mode, as we talked about the other day, privacy mode will help with some of the tracking, but not all of it because of the whole browser fingerprinting thing. All right, so meanwhile, you're leaving tracks out in the physical world. Not only the location history of your phone, turn off location on your phone. Just turn off location on your phone. Of course, I gotta catch the Pikachu. Gotta catch the Pikachu. It's like that crazy psycho in that darkly colored van. He said, "Hey kids, there's a Pikachu in there." Okay. But if you're walking around trying to catch Pokemon Go, or you had to keep your location, there's like very few reasons to keep location turned on. Okay, one of those, like maybe you might have a location turned on a kid's phone. I might make an exception for something like that, so you can track out where they are if you have the apps and capabilities of doing that. But for the most part, even that, we survived decades and centuries without a phone in our pocket. It will be okay. Just let the little children go play in the woods. It will be fine. You will see them for dinner. Okay? Especially if you anticipate them. All right. But what's happening now is we are leaving tracks in the physical world, not on the location history of the phone, but also the trail of payments you leave behind me. If you pay with a credit card, debit card, or an app, and I will also add if you have linked your sale into a store card. They can track all of that data. So put A and B together and suddenly you have a much clearer picture to share with advertisers. Well, yes, John Smith did see 4 ads for your coffee drink online yesterday before spending exactly what one of those drinks costs at the location of yours near his office. Congratulations, your ads worked. Spend more money advertising with us now, please. That is what they are trying to do, is get to the point where they can track all of this data and really paint a good picture as to what happens with all of this data. All right, so let's jump on over to the comment thread. All right, so start page, it's like DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo uses Yahoo search. I thought DuckDuckGo was its own completely independent thing, but I don't remember. Does that use Yahoo, really? Okay. Yeah, start page uses Google, and what's the one? Ecosia uses Bing. It's lamer as in, that's so lame. All right, cool. Awesome. Hello, Louis Chalmers. All right. Yahoo, I will never use. They love being hacked into, but I do have Yahoo Mail. Use it for junk mail. That's before I knew about fake email maker. There you go. Yep. There's a good application for an old Yahoo account. All the spam can go over there. That way someone can hack it. They think I'm actually meant to mail order brides from Russia or other stuff. We'll leave it at that. The amount of crazy things I get in my inbox. There's actually a new scam going through. A new face on an old scam. I've gotten about 10 of them so far this week. Your order has been refunded from Amazon. I'd be expecting my Amazon account's full of cash at this point in time, but it's not. But of course, all the little links go to random PHP pages inside of a WordPress theme, which is very odd to me. I so want to log into there on Tails or something and just click those links and see what happens. Let's see. People will have to cover their tracks via Tails. Yeah, there you go. I just, if you did not catch it, I did a introduction to Tails last night as a disc review. Hello, UK Beast. If I turn location off, then my phone is lost or stolen. It's gone forever. So I have to really. No, first, if you're using an iPhone, you can remotely turn on location services, which scares me to no end. at least as of iOS 9 or iOS 10. One of those two iOS versions allows you to remotely turn on location services, and that seems to me like it defeats the purpose and is in and of itself concerning enough. But B, I wouldn't worry about it as much. I just get into the habit of making sure I don't lose it or leave it around. I can understand what you're saying, but as long as you have a good data mitigation plan and a good pass key on there, and you're making sure that it's wiped if somebody tries 10 times, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Nokia 3310 has gone on sale. All right. What about PayPal? Yeah, PayPal is certainly a they'll track your data as well forever. I'm not a huge fan of PayPal, but yeah, they will do that. Every time I'm Pretty the Hacker just saw how this guy got a lot of junk mail, but no banking info. Yeah, man, what's going on here? All right, let's jump back to our article. All right, so coordinating all the different online and offline data points into one single person's profile has basically been the holy grail of advertising. I should get like a silver cup. All right, I gotta make a quick note in my thing there so I remember where I'm at for my chat. Okay. All right, so Facebook is the world's second largest advertising company, and of course, Google's the first, Facebook is second, and everybody else is distant third, everybody else combined. So Facebook launched Atlas in 2014. This allowed them to do a lot of cross-browser stuff. So if you've ever logged into Facebook on your browser, then Facebook can track pretty much everything that you're doing. So be warned out there. This is why you never use Facebook on any computer except a computer or a setup specifically designed for Facebook. So, service let Facebook generate a universal cross-platform profiles. Any activity on any device you've logged into Facebook counts as you and be collated into one profile for measuring advertising efficacy. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. All right. So Google introduced some offline measurements to its online tool suited back in 2014 when it started using phone location data to match store visit location data. Is this it? This is it. So this is the Google's help document here from their AdWords account that details exactly how to do this. There are some requirements to use this, one of those mainly being that you need to have multiple physical store locations in eligible countries. Now, multiple could mean 2. So a small business with a few stores, they can turn this stuff on without a problem. And then, of course, you have to receive thousands of clicks and many store visits. Not a real big deal for somebody, for even just a decent-sized business. And in the local town here, like in our local town here, to get to know the behind the scenes on the business, which I get a chance to do as some of the networking meetings I do. It's interesting to see how many of the businesses are all owned by the same companies or the same individual people. And, they're pretty big businesses around here that can allow you to do a lot of that type of stuff. So these businesses can legitimately jump in and take care of this. All right. So basically what they are able to do here is track the location. Have you seen the ad? Are you in the vicinity where you have a billboard, or have they walked into your store and they used the credit card information? Okay. And so let's see, it started using store visit location, but a store doesn't make any money when you simply walk into it. You need to buy something. So Google is tracking that now too. So the coming months, we'll be rolling out store sales measurements in the device and campaign levels. This will allow you to measure in-store revenue in addition to the store visits delivered by your search and shopping ads. So the idea is now that you can put in information into your phone so that if somebody's looking up a product, then your store can appear as a local store that carries that product. They can then track you going into the store and buying the product that you spent time looking up. All right. So basically now Google explains to advertisers that's a very literal collection of spending data matched to the people who spent it. Of course, it's all anonymized. Okay. So businesses that collect, this is interesting. Businesses that collect your email to track your purchases and send you coupons can import their loyalty program data directly into their Google advertiser account, making it even easier to follow you around everywhere you go. For everyone else, Google says its third-party partnerships capture roughly 70% of credit and debit card transactions in the United States. 70% of credit card transactions in the United States. Okay, so the data won't have your name attached. Google makes sure to point out. It's anonymized, so hashers see that user 08866. Now, what I could have done here is I could have logged into my analytics account where I manage multiple different people's analytics, and I can actually show you the individual data. And the scary part is I can take that data, open up the server logs for the websites, which I also control, and I can match the person to their IP address to their name because they had to register. Fortunately, I'm scrupulous and I don't have time to do stuff like that, but I can very well track everything a person does who's signed up in the system because I have access to the website and I have access to the analytics. The website gives me server access logs. A lot of people don't realize that. If I have access to your website, I have access to your server logs. Or I can build a script to create a server log, one of the two. Us web designers, we can be funny. I'm not sure if that's haha or strange. All right. But they can identify that this particular user saw these 10 ads and spent $27.73 at a certain grocery store that afternoon. The anonymity data is anything but, they say. If anyone's looking at your digital breadcrumbs, they can be reasonably sure who you are from shockingly little data. Students have shown it takes 3 pieces of data to identify you by credit card spending alone, and 2 pieces to identify you from a social media app. That's what's going on. All right. Good points. Thank you, Matthew J. Hello, Matthew J. I didn't see you jump on there. There's a subtle vulnerability going around, patched in VLC now. It's on Torrent Freak's site for the news. VLC, huh? Give me a second. I'm just checking. Hey, look at that. Ha ha ha. The VLC. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually already ready to be patched on my system here. I pulled up. You couldn't see it, but I pulled up my my update log to see if I'm seeing the same VLC issue. And yep, I'm gonna run updates when we're done with the live stream here because my VLC update is ready to go. All right, honestly, don't care if my location is turned on. They can see where I live. It's not really, not a pretty town. Actually, it's a village, really. It's more than that, though. Go and look back. This was actually almost 5 years ago, 7 years ago. A news company. Let me see if I can find that article. This was quite scary. This was a new article here. There was one. It was a good half a decade ago about location data, but this article here looks like this is from CBS Chicago. I did not read this disclaimer. But right now, someone could use using social media to watch or remove. Let me see if this has what it has. Thousands take pictures and post their visits to Chicago Bean. Why shouldn't she? They were able to track down a woman at the Bean through software that mapped her posted Instagram pictures in real time. In a matter of seconds, we scanned her social media accounts, learning an awful lot. So the concept, I'm not sure if this article is talking about, but the one article that I had read a while back, what it was talking about is that a news agency had looked at a few different local residents' social media data because they were interacting with things with location data turned on. They were able to track down, they were able to actually map and blueprint their whole house, tell you where the kids' bedroom were, when the kids went to school, when they got dropped off by the bus, where they got dropped off at the bus, when the parents leave for work, like when the mother leaves for work, when the father leaves for work, just all of this stuff simply from social media because location services was turned on their phone. That's a scary amount of data. I'm not sure it's worth it, but it's a decision we each have to weigh for ourselves. All right. I hate Google. I hate that Google can add my credit card to autofill. Yep. Stuff like that makes me paranoid. Apparently privacy is dead. Yes, privacy is dead. Privacy has died a while ago. However, there are great steps that you can take, and we will conclude this live stream talking about the steps that you can take. And I'm not crazy paranoid, okay? I don't advocate living in a cave. I do own a smartphone, and I use the internet a lot, and I have a Google account. In fact, I have a couple of them. But let's see. Just now realizing this, yes. Someone wants to kill me and they hack my location and find me. They can try to make it to my house, so they probably won't survive getting out. Okay, it's not a matter of finding out where somebody is. It's not as much as it is tracking down the best and most efficient ways to find you at your weakest so they can sell you what they can sell you. That's what it has to do with. One of my very early tinfoil hat times, it probably only has like less than 100 views because it was when my channel was so new, was looking at when Yahoo had purchased or had filed the patent to create a system that is very much like the tracking systems done in Minority Report. And you want to know why Verizon was all happy about buying Yahoo even though it had hacks? It was the patents they wanted. That's a scary patent. Go check out that tinfoil hat time. It's one of my early ones. I forget the name of it, but it should be pretty obvious. Let's do a search for the tinfoil hat times. It's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something. I'll see if I can find it. In fact, we'll see if I can find it if we need it. All right. Don't worry, you don't know, they don't know your name. They just know your location, search history, email, pretty much everything about you. But don't worry, they don't have your name. It sounds like Windows 10. Dylan, are you talking about Windows 10 there? Hello, Anna. How are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Stuck my head in a lawnmower today. Hackers foil Samsung 8's iris recognition with a photo of an eye. Yeah, I saw that. That will probably be on my news update on Friday. Samsung's brand new iris scanner. Unlock my phone with my iris. Yes, you can see every detail of my iris now, Mr. Phone. Please don't. Leave biometric tracking out of this stuff. Please. Edward Snowden is not paranoid either. Might as well give everyone a number at birth instead of... Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm now Citizen 89. There was an old movie called Zabrowski's Point, and Pink Floyd redid the song Careful With That Axe, Eugene, which, of course, is a psychedelic song designed to make people go crazy if they're on acid or something. But they renamed the song something like Come In Number 42, Your Time Is Up. So I guess I shall be number 42. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to our article here. Okay. So anonymity is, let's see. On top of that, the larger picture of data is frankly kind of overwhelming. FTC has found that cross-device tracking is everywhere and poorly disclosed. Like, who would have thought that my headphones are tracking me? But they are. as finely granular ad targeting can have real harms, from small-scale price discrimination to unintentional racial discrimination, or even completely illegal racial discrimination that perpetuates housing segregation. Why don't we talk about each one of those real quick? There's a lot in that sentence there to unfold. So as far as small price discrimination, this was actually put out, I forget exactly who it is, what her name is. I'll have to go track it down again, but it is a reporter working with one of the privacy advocacy groups, and what they had done is they had looked at studies. I think it was with Staples is where they did the studies. And what they found is that because more affluent people, more affluent towns had a greater propensity of one social class versus another social class, like richer people, more stores, more competition would move into the area. If more competition moved into the area, then what would happen is that more competition means lower prices. But in more socio-limited areas, socio-income limited areas, fewer stores would be there, and less competition means they could raise higher prices. In other words, what it translated into is that locations where it had more poor people, the same products cost more money than in locations where there were more rich people. Interesting piece of data. But then the unintentional racial discrimination, this came, I'm guessing this is going to link to the Facebook related article. What was happening here is Facebook was pushing ads that were so targeted. I think this might be the one that's not there anymore. Facebook could so control things that what ended up happening is that certain races were excluded from certain offers and promotional deals. I think this is the article that's not there anymore. And then what ended up happening is a lawsuit ensued suing Facebook because they were effectively doing discrimination for HUD, which is in its logo includes non-discrimination. It's a big deal that had happened. Well, it wasn't necessarily intentional in that case, but it did occur and it led to discrimination. And so with all of this big data, it can lead to micro-discrimination, so much so that even Uber, if you saw this week, even Uber is now taking this type of data. And if I'm a person who has never used Uber and I just download the Uber app, the ride would cost less money for me than somebody who has been on Uber for a long time, because they know that the cost isn't as much. And so they would charge more to some people versus other people based upon the data that they had collected on you. I don't know if that's going to deter another Uber lawsuit or not, but it's definitely interesting. And of course, you can do completely illegal racial discrimination if you have this much data as well. All right, so you have a little more control how Google uses your data. Excuse me, I had to laugh at that. The thing is what you can do is if you're logged into your Google account, you can click the button that says "Don't track my data," and it stores a cookie on your web browser. No, I'm sure they're still tracking. They're just trying to tell. They're just telling current advertisers, "Don't." Careful of this guy. He knows he's a privacy guy. Careful of this idiot. All right. So you can visit Google's advertising and privacy opt-out settings. Let's go to this page and have some of you to opt out of having some of your activity logged. Which, oh come on, really? Give me the actual page in Google. Thank you. Oh, I have to sign into a Google account. Never mind. So basically, here's what it looks like. I can opt out of all these things, and what this does is it gives you a cookie on your browser. Stop. They're still collecting the data. It's the same thing as on Facebook. If you delete the post, it still exists. It just has a zero in the database, meaning don't display this. They still have it. It's just not displayed. Okay. That's kind of how that works. It's a very simple function in a PHP script. It's you do on a social media platform. You do a simple logic test. Is there something in here? Yes, no. If yes, Just don't display the post. If no, display the post. Whatever. That's how that works. It's of the simplest of if statements you can possibly create in PHP. All right, so here, let's see. You can visit Google's advertising policy page to opt out of being shown some ads, but your history of ad viewing is still going to be out there, tied to your credit card spending, and without a whole lot you can actually do about it. Exciting. So that's that. Let's see. This guy here, how Google and Facebook took over okay, there's just a few things. Oh, here is the actual press release from Google about this event. This is interesting. Here's a quote. Given today's multi-device landscape, cross-channel measurements and attribution is indispensable for HelloFresh to have a 360-degree panorama of our customer journey and gives us best data to make the best decisions. We used to call that stalking. I don't want HelloFresh to have a 360-degree panorama of my customer journey. Thank you. That's frightening to me. Of course, here's mobile local innovations. So 7 in 10 smartphone owners who make an in-store purchase take a relevant action on their phone prior to the purchase. I do this. If I go into a store, I look it up. In fact, here's a fun tip for you. If you are at Best Buy, Best Buy does it. Walmart might. Staples does it. If you can find the same exact product for sale, not by some third party, but by the actual retailer. So if you go into Staples and you look for a product, and then you go into Amazon and you type in the product and you get the exact product with the exact SKU number and the price is cheaper, you can show your smartphone to the clerk at Staples and they will give you 110%, like 110% price savings over, meaning they'll drop the price to the same thing on Amazon plus an extra 10%. Staples will do that. Best Buy will match the price that you can find. So that's a fun way if you are negotiating, because negotiation styles to save a little bit of money for a legitimate thing you need to buy. Great. I'm not against consumerism, people. Okay, I'm against consumerism as a crazy psychopathic philosophy, but I'm not against going in and buying things we need. So if I want to go buy something at Best Buy, so I'm like, okay, I need a new hard drive. I go get this hard drive. If I get the SKU number, and that SKU number matches an identical product on Amazon, and it's cheaper on Amazon, I can show them my phone and get Amazon's price in the store and pay cash for it. Fun tips, negotiating tips. I do it all the time. Actually. Now, how do they get around things? So like the graphics card in this computer is a Best Buy only deal. You can only get it at Best Buy. So you can't do that. So what the stores are doing to fight that is having their SKUs different. And it's a marketing strategy. So you can get the same product at Target and Walmart, but it'll be a different SKU number. So they can't pit each other against each other for the marketing dollars. And so it's a little tip that you can do as you're fighting back and buying things that you legitimately need to buy. All right, so here if people click on an advertiser's Google search ad before visiting a store are over 25% more likely to buy something while they're there, and they also spend 10% more on average. And this is a neat principle that many of us, and including myself, if I need something today, I will pay a little bit more money to have it in my hands today rather than wait a week. And this is where a lot of small business owners kind of shoot themselves in the foot in product-based companies, where if I want to buy something right now, don't tell me, oh, I can order it for you and then we can have it in a week and it's going to cost you 20% more. I ain't doing it, you know? And so, but it is a reality that people who spend locally will pay more. And that's a fine thing, okay? Because the internet does lower the prices across things, and that may be a good thing or a bad thing. And there's a very scary paragraph I'm getting down here, but let's look at the comments first. There's a lot of comments going back and forth here. Okay, I've been working on de-Googling my life for a while now. The only two Google services I actually use anymore is YouTube and the occasional Google Maps. Yeah, there you go. That's good. And I don't use many. I use quite a bit more just because web business, web design business and stuff like that, analytics and all the other fun things I need to do. But as far as personal use items, I use nothing Google for personal use items, depending on what you call the YouTube channels or not, business or personal or whatever. Cool. Steven, you are number 6. All right. Number 6, your time has come. One thing, collecting data, a huge problem, keeping that data safe from script kiddies. Yes, because this is the sad thing about your third party. Third party doctrine is the scariest thing because it's like, I might trust the business I'm giving that data to, but then they dump that data to some third party and who knows what that third party's data is. And that's the thing that's bothersome to me. That, oh, we got all your information from the store that you gave your email to for a survey. No, that should be illegal. Should be illegal. All right. Me too. I use Gmail, YouTube, Google Maps, and that's it. Why do you use Gmail? Better be for business. Bing is also guilty of tracking people. Yeah. I think Bing is actually worse than Google as far as tracking. I was happy to get rid of Facebook, working myself up to deleting Twitter. Do it, number 89, do it. I wish I could stop using Skype, but people in my life use, that's the thing. Yeah, Skype. That's the thing, I have to use Skype to do the majority of my business. Just the nature of how I do things, and that's the reality. But it's definitely not attached to anything else. The Skype account is not attached to anything else that Microsoft could possibly see. So that's going to be one of the tips I'll talk about here when we get down to the bottom of this stuff. All right, old news for Uber. Uber loses court case to block English language written test in London. What? Interesting. If you delete your Twitter account, it will still be on their servers. Yeah, but at least it won't get any bigger. I'll try to fake my death then. Oh, no. That won't work either. Come on. Don't you know that Facebook has the death status? You can, if you are the loved one with the death certificate of your loved one, you can submit that information to Facebook and you will actually have the ability to set the Facebook onto a death profile mode. Which I can't look up right now because I blocked Facebook. I'm pretty sure I still block Facebook. Let me see if I'm still blocking Facebook. I think I turned off the Facebook block at one point in time to show you something. I'm not sure if I ever turn it back on. Yep, Facebook's blocked. Facebook is blocked over here. All right. Delete your cookies, people, no matter how good they might taste. Delete cookies? I want to go make cookies now. Canvas fingerprinting is the new cookie. Yeah. There was something I think on Anonymous's channel today about I forget what country they were talking about. Maybe it might have been India, where pretty much a fingerprint enabled card is now required for pretty much everything. Anybody know what country that was for sure? Rita, don't bake cookies in the first place. Anyway, use the Tor browser. There are no cookies involved. UK Beast 89 XD. Even if you died, they'll track you. Yes. Do that all the time. Save money, and the next money earn is to save for the account for next time. All right. Google has received 1.6 million NHS patients' data on inappropriate legal basis. Yeah, I think I talked about that article last week. Even your death, your privacy is not safe. Nope. Neither is your safe. Get you going, too. Data is for their DeepMind project. Yeah, that's like scary AI. We can look at you now and track your diseases. Lamer Linux, I'm looking for a new distro as I try. I'm on the hunt for something fresh as I'm on a Xubuntu. I've been having fun on Ubuntu Mate lately. That's kind of fun. All right, let me find that last scary... Whoop, wrong button. I pushed the wrong button a couple of times. There we go. Okay, we're back. Whew, that was a lot of jumping back and forth. I will be guilty of causing someone a seizure. Let's see. Yeah, this one here. Okay, so if you collect information at the point of sale for your loyalty program, you can import store transactions directly into AdWords yourself or through a third-party data partner. And even if your business doesn't have a large loyalty program, you can still measure store sales by taking advantage of Google's third-party partnerships, which capture approximately 70% of credit and debit card transactions in the United States. There's no time-consuming setup or costly integration required on your end. You also don't need to share any customer information after you got opt-in. We automatically report your store sales in AdWords. That's scary. All right, here is the article back. This is actually a couple years old article, but here is a study showing how non-anonymous credit card data actually is. Oh, yeah?
Careful, people. They can track down your data just by a couple pieces of information.
Thank you, Kitty. Kitty contributing. The kitty contribution. All right. So what they're saying here is at most it's 4, at most 3 if at least one price is included. So they can take all of this anonymized data and they can track down and figure out who is who from this basic information. So that is kind of the scariness of this individual topic. So let's have a look at, well, let's have a quick look at comments. I'm going to have some concluding remarks here. All right. My wife said she loved the homemade ice cream video and said we are then having ice cream for dinner, but she said no. What? You need to. Oh, by the way, I posted today, this afternoon, I posted the smoothie recipe. See if I got that website right. Intriguing. I'm getting a blank page. I'm not sure why I'm getting a blank page. Yeah, for some reason I get this lovely blank page on Patreon. I'm not sure why. Come on. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I get a blank page when I go to Patreon on here. That's kind of intriguing. So that's kind of where the thing is at. No, not terminal. I know I'm terminal and all, but... All right, there we are. We're just going to go ahead and switch to which screen? Let's go to this one here. All right. So here is the Patreon page. We're pulling up in Chromium this time. And over here under posts, so here is your smoothie recipe. So you can come over here and check out the smoothie recipe. And I have, if you would like to become a patron, you can view the channel introduction for now. And of course, here is, if you did miss the ice cream recipe, it is right here. So you can go over to Patreon and Patreon.com/Tom M. Check out the posts. I do have these ones public. They channel introduction is under the paywall right now, and there's a few other things under there as well. So you can go check out that if you are so inclined to want to know how to make a smoothie, which is a little healthier than the ice cream. It's just as good, but regardless, that's something. Look at this! Look at this adorable creature. Jeez, he's just being cute. You might actually be able to hear him purr in the microphone. All right. And Antragos is pure arch repos. Looks like the kitty's doing a news broadcast. Manjaro has their own repos. Ubuntu's, what's I've been hearing. Boo, Arch, yay, Linux Mint. Starting a war. All right. War never changes. The world is going to a cashless society. India is pretty much almost there. No more privacy. That's it. That's it. The mark of the beast. Which distro of Linux does the best job at keeping our browsing habits private? Tails or Cubes? Well, I mean, really Tails, because every time you boot it up and then every 10 minutes it changes its security nodes. So Tails. Which one is more productive while doing so? Cubes. As far as I actually have production cubed machines. Tails you boot up if you want to open up some spam email or something goofy like that. So Tails is certainly better at the privacy part, but Cubes is more practical because it's actually easier to actually get work done. Of course, you can do Tails on a persistent drive and things like that. So that's my thoughts. China uses their social app to make purchases. That's kind of scary. If you want to try a Mate desktop, go with Ubuntu Mate or Linux Mint. XFCE 100%, Linux Lite, GNOME 3, Ubuntu GNOME, and LXDE Ubuntu. There you go. Mate is now GTK3 happy these days. Cool. Yep. All right. So let's talk about my individual thoughts now. Let me go back up to this one here. We'll keep the kitty view there because he's just being cute. You want to see something? Do you want to purr into the microphone? Yeah. All right. So my thoughts. My basic thoughts on this. First, unless you're specifically using Google and or Facebook, you should block them. On Linux Mint, well, pretty much anything, block them at the host file, google.com or facebook.com, any other ad network things. Block those at the browser level unless you are using them. Hey, Ryan, you fell asleep. Oh, man, Ryan, you got me at the concluding remarks. You're going to have to come back in. Too many mouses, you... That's what my friend says. He comes over and he's like, "You have too many mice." I have that. Plus, I have keyboard. There's a keyboard down here. There's another one over here. There's another mouse here. Yes. This one's for this computer. This is for this computer. This is for the other computer. This is for the Mac. I actually keep them all straight. Yes, but yes, I do have a lot of mice. In fact. Ooh, the kitty likes mice. The kitty likes mice. All right. So turn off the ability for those sites at all. If you do need to use those, isolate them into their own operating systems. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to get a chance to work on Cubes a little bit. I'm not sure if I will or not. If I don't get to the Cubes one, then I'm going to release another scammer video that I've been sitting on for a while. I'll do one of those too. But Cubes is a great place if you do need to run social media for some reason, or you want to run social media without compromising anything else. Cubes is an awesome place to do that because you can build a cube for your social media and then build all of the other cubes to not be able to have social media track anything at all. So if you do need social media things, have a separate distro. You could do it just by running a social media distro on just on a thumb drive on your computer, which will, another great thing that's going to do is that will limit the amount of time that you will actually spend on social media, because you legitimately, literally, and intentionally have to boot the computer into the social media distro to mess with your social media. And then just don't use that distro for anything else. Another thing is with this, don't use, he loves pen caps. I don't know why, but he loves pen caps. Don't use credit cards and debit cards. Like, just don't even bother with those more, as much as you can. Also avoid the Shoppers Club cards. Like, I see no real reason. Like, you're going to send me coupons. No. You're probably going to send me coupons to upsell things that I would not otherwise buy. I don't want your coupons. Or, here's the big one. I use my Shoppers Club cards to save money on gas. Well, no. Look around, because if I go into the store and I spend $500 with my Shoppers Club card to qualify for 10 cents cheaper in gas, there's still a gas station down here I can get 10 to 15 cents cheaper on gas just by paying cash. So pay cash. It's also going to cost you to be more intentional with your money, and these guys won't be able to track you as much to do quite as much data tracking and all that kind of stuff. So those are kind of my thoughts, my views. Let's have a final look through the comments, and I think what we're going to do is wrap this guy up. I'm going to go and make myself, I think I'm doing a bacon chicken wrap. If anyone's close by and wants to come over for dinner, bacon chicken wraps today with a homemade Italian dressing, lettuce and cabbage coleslaw salad. That sounds great. Gonna make everybody hungry. Of course, it's 9 o'clock my time if you're watching. So yes, I do usually. Actually, this is early for me for dinner. This is crazy. All right. Well, let's see. Thinking about either GNOME, Ubuntu Mate, or Neon. Neon is more like of a development environment, so I would not run Neon. If you do want to run KDE, I hear the most stable KDE build is OpenSUSE. So if you want to run that, so I'm not sure I'd run Neon. It's more like a development area for KDE. Ubuntu Mate, I've been loving Ubuntu Mate. I'm not a huge fan of GNOME, so I'm not going to make any recommendations on that one way or the other. Maybe Fedora has a good clean build of it, and Ubuntu has a good build. The kitty, yes, the kitty is amused. I use Domain Blocker in Linux Mint to block websites. Ooh, that would be a fun one too. Do I have Domain Blocker? Haha, look at that. Domain Blocker. It is installed. Ooh, fun tools. Where's that? Where's that at? There you go. On Linux Mint, there you go. You have a domain blocker, so I can go ahead and block something. Be done, you evil beast. How dare you try to get on my computer, Twitter? Go tweet elsewhere, little birdies. I will feed you to my cats. I ask start page, thank you. So domain blocker, that's fun. I might have to start playing with that. If I remember correctly, doesn't that add host file things? Haha, yes. Oh, that's hilarious, actually. Looking at my host file, it's blocked by Mint Nanny. That's right, my nanny's blocking it. So I'm wondering what happens if I take them out. I'm guessing it just tracks down the things that say blocked by Mint Nanny and gets rid of them. I'm guessing that's what happens. Cool. That's going to be a much better way for me to block things rather than just manually doing the host file. That's awesome. That's cool. All right. Useless fact. The Antergos website is down right now. Bummer. What? You want what? You want that? You want that? That? That's what you want? All right, you can have that. All right. Let's see. I only use cash only for emergencies. I have one credit card, no store cards. Plus, I do not subscribe to any website newsletters. Oh, I only use cash. Only okay, and you have one credit card for emergencies. Even better than one credit card for emergencies, build up a separate debit card account in a separate thing. That way you don't have to worry about playing with snakes with a credit card company. I realize not everybody can do that right away, but that's kind of the contingency. I tell people if you're financially stable, you shouldn't have a credit card anyway. Just take the money, put it into a separate account, and putting it in that separate account, then you can do that. But either way, that's good. Can I ask a quick question? Yes, ask quick. I will be there for dinner time, but in Canada, so it might take a while. All right. I have RMD 460. Which distro can I? AMD RX 460. I'm not sure specifically about the RX 460 or not. But as far as the AMDs, I knew GNOME does not play nice with them, and Unity did not prior to 17. So if you want to run Ubuntu Unity, you'd have to be on 17.04 to do that. For the AMD. That's actually when my AMD card started work. Linux Mint works perfectly under AMD. I don't think I've had any problems with KDE or XFCE or Mate or any of that stuff either. But I have had AMD issues on GNOME, and older Unity does. I ate beef burgers with bacon and egg for tea. Nice. That sounds tasty. You make me hungry for beef burgers now. Except Ubuntu. OpenSUSE, Fedora. I do not like OpenSUSE. Fedora sounds good. What about Mint? Does it support my graphics card? Yeah, if you have the AMD 460, an AMD graphics card, Linux Mint will work perfectly fine. Like Linux Mint Cinnamon, no problems at all. Uses older kernel. You can change the kernel in Linux Mint without a problem. Just come down into your update here and view Linux kernels, and then you can choose which kernel you want to use. I use 4.4 because VirtualBox works best with that for me. But that's what you can do for kernels. Domain blocker. Hey, you're welcome, Kevin. All right. I have two banks. One is for dire emergencies. Yes. Korora is a good distro. But yeah, if you want to use Fedora and you don't want to mess around with getting stuff set up, Korora is actually awesome. It's like Fedora that all of that 26 things you should do after you install Fedora is already done for you. I liked Korora. Actually, I did a distro review of Korora. I want to use dual monitors. Linux Mint, Cinnamon, dual monitors. Do it all the time. So yeah, I'd go, if you're concerned about the AMD graphics card, I'd try Linux Mint Cinnamon. I have absolutely no problems at all with dual monitoring. And I use dual monitors on cubes as well. What's that? XFCE, I think. I'm not sure I've tried dual monitors on other distros or not. I know my other computer here, the KDE computer behind me. I've done that dual monitors, but that does not have AMD graphics, I don't think. I don't remember what graphics it has, but I did not think it was AMD. Any distro with Ubuntu base that's not running Unity. Huh, interesting. Ends up really screwed up scaling with really small text. Having 3 banks is good because having all your eggs in one basket is dangerous. Yes. All right, I think I have hit to the end of the comments now. So thanks for watching, everybody. I think the next live stream we are going to do is Friday. It's looking like Friday about 9 o'clock. We will do the weekly news roundup, topic yet to be determined. Hopefully I'll figure that out tomorrow. So tomorrow is the news, and then let's see. Or I'm sorry, Friday's the news. Tomorrow I'm either going to do cubes or I'm going to do another scam video, whichever one. I'd kind of like to get the scam video off my desktop because literally all the resources for it are taking up half of my desktop on the computer. It's like, get that taken care of. So I'll do one of those two tomorrow, and then Friday, weekly news update. Saturday, I'm pretty sure I will take off. And Sunday, tinfoil hat time. Again, topic to be determined. So that is that. Let's see. Anything else going on? Oh, you know, other things. I'm going to make the best attempt I can to having the home cooking channel up and live videos publicly available on there. The reason I'm not doing any of the videos publicly available yet is because they all reference the website, which is not set up yet. And so I want to make sure the website's up and some content's up there before I go ahead and do that. And I'm going to keep the website on that very simple, but it's going to be a place where you can download the recipes and things like that. But if you do want to check out the recipe videos as I do them, then you'll have to check out the Patreon page for that. And with all of that being said, I hope that you all enjoy switching to Linux.